So what is problem-based learning? I'll give a quick review of what it is. In a didactic method, teachers are teaching pupils. In problem-based learning, tutors are guiding younger colleagues to find their own ways. So instead of listening to lectures, students start working with a problem. The emphasis here is on learning, not on teaching. Let's don't call the students. They are learners, and they are in small groups, and the learners identify gaps in their knowledge about a certain problem or a given topic. The learners acquire relevant information from different sources. And let's not call us tutors. Let's not call us teachers. We are the tutors or facilitators. The facilitators facilitate the actual learning process. So it's active learning through asking questions and seeking answers. It is integrated learning by tackling problems for which knowledge from several subdisciplines are necessary. It's cumulative learning by succession of increasingly complex problems. It's learning for understanding rather than for retention of facts. So the problem can be a statement or a description. It can be a picture or a figure. It can be a set of data. It can be a cartoon. In real life, problems present as clear as specific ones. So even in problem-based learning, the problems will not be clear and specific ones. So the 7 steps of the classical problem-based learning. In this step 1, the learners define terms and concepts included in the problem. The group then agrees upon some of the following issues. What does the problem deal with? What does the terms and concepts described in the problem mean? And they try to define the problem, see the problem as a broad one and as a starting point for learning the topic. They break the problem into several specific problems and write them down. In the next step, the learners analyze the problem, the process called brainstorming, and they analyze one problem at a time. They write down the ideas and explanations that the group already has about the problem, and they need to discuss. They do not need to discuss at this point. They just need to write them down, and they decide what information is necessary to understand the problem. In the second step, they organize the ideas into categories. They identify knowledge that is already available in this group, and they discuss the ideas and explanations that have come forward in the previous step. And most important, they organize the ideas into some categories. They leave the ideas and explanations that are irrelevant for this topic, and they critically evaluate their knowledge. In next step, this step 4, they determine learning needs. They determine what they need to understand. They determine what more needs to be done to understand the remaining of the issues, and they determine which areas and topics they must learn, and they determine what resources they will use. In the next step, the group breaks up and acquires the knowledge. The group decides an efficient way to acquire the necessary knowledge. They decide what resources are available and what other resources are needed, and most important, they distribute the work among the group members. The group then brings information from different sources. In the next step, the group reassembles, and then they present the new knowledge and assess the new knowledge critically. They determine how the new knowledge can help understand the problem. They come up with new questions and new ideas about how to answer these questions. And don't forget, there is another step. This is called the evaluation. In the evaluation, they evaluate how each member of the group has contributed to understanding of the problem, and how, if someone was too quiet, if someone was too talkative, things like that. And they also evaluate how the tutor has contributed to stimulating the learning process. So what are the benefits of problem-based learning? It's a problem solving in unfamiliar situation. It's about adapting to and participating in changes. It is about reasoning critically and creatively. It is about using a system or holistic approach. It is about collaborating productively in teams. It is about identifying one's own strengths and weaknesses. It is about committing oneself to lifelong learning as a means of addressing the problems. And what does the tutor do? The tutor functions at a metacognitive level. By metacognitive skills, I mean it's a thought, reflection, deliberation, etc. So the tutor's role is guidance, is to track the learning phase and to probe the learner's knowledge deeply, and to involve the participants in group processes and group discussions, and to modulate the problem at hand, and to manage interpersonal dynamics, and to establish a learning climate. A teacher's duty in the beginning is modeling, and then coaching, and finally feeding. There are some difficulties with problem-based learning also. It needs more resources. It is less familiar as an educational method, and that is a big problem. And the learners may not be rightly motivated, at least in the beginning. You know, the learners are used to listen to cathedral lectures, and problem-based learning, as I said, it needs more time. Thank you.